Well, New York Governor Kathy Hochul delivered a keynote address at New York University's 56th Annual Conference on Capital Markets and Real Estate, outlining her vision for the new New York Dream.
Good afternoon. Anyone who doubts that New York City is back, have you seen the traffic lately? Okay. Well, you light one Christmas tree the night before, and all of a sudden, every bus from America wants to be down these streets, but I think it's a beautiful sign. When I first took office 2 years ago, we were still in the throes of a pandemic. If you've forgotten about it, just go to a high school like I did a few hours ago and talk to the students, because they're still dealing with the emotional and psychological impacts, and they'll tell you in their own words what they're going through. So there's a lot of residual effects of something that really hit us to our core right here in New York. And when you shutter the greatest city on earth, you can't expect to rebound immediately. But it feels like this rebound is taking a little longer, and that's why I'm very focused on all the metrics that say things are better. We also have to give people hope that these dark times, the clouds are now dissipating, that the better days and the sunshine are still with us. The numbers are absolutely trending in a good direction. If they were not, I would tell you that, but you can't argue with that. So the numbers are trending in a very positive way. But there's also the visible signs. Last week I was at JP Chase's topping out ceremony. You get to sign the big piece of steel. Hopefully in your industry you've done a lot of that. It said to me, this is a state-of-the-art workplace, not in another state, but it'll be the home for 14,000 people. Good wages, a lot of good labor building those buildings. It's extraordinary. When I stood there, I looked up at the sky, and it was so bright and spectacular. I said, this is the state's model, ever upward. You want to see the future, you look upward. You see these buildings rising up. You see people living there, working there, raising their families, embracing all that it means to be a New Yorker, and it is extraordinary. But it's not perfect. There's always work to do, and that's why in my budget, my proposals last year, I announced a new vision for New York. We call it the new New York Dream. I want to make sure that this is a place where people can live without fear of crime, that they have the ability to enjoy a high quality of life, that they have great job opportunities, educational opportunities, and eventually when they retire, they don't ever have to worry about the high cost of living. That is the dream I have, but I'm talking about how to make that become a reality. And what I'm talking about is one of the #1 drivers of keeping that dream out of people's hands is the high cost of housing. And you don't need to just listen to me. Look at the latest Marist poll. 73% of New Yorkers have come to the conclusion that one of the biggest problems they face is the high cost of housing. We also are building only 1 unit of housing for every 3 new jobs that are created. Do the math. This is what we work for all the time. I want to create new jobs. Businesses are coming. Very, very positive. Great story. But if they don't have a place to live, it doesn't work. They move to another state. That's the missing link to our unbridled success here in New York. And part of it is not because there's not a lot of will in this room. The people you're looking at and will talk to you, they want to build. But there are barriers. New York is unique in many good ways and often some not so good ways. I decided when I had a legislature that just couldn't see fit to do the right thing here. Because you know what I proposed last year. I don't think I need to educate everybody. We had the boldest, most ambitious housing plan, the New York Times said, since Nelson Rockefeller was governor. Anybody alive when Nelson Rockefeller was governor? Okay, you're not admitting how old you are. That was a long time ago. That's a shame. That's perhaps why we don't have the housing now, because it does take courage. Takes a bold vision. But that's what we have here in New York, right? Who's bolder, who's more visionary than we are? I have been to so many places, from Long Island to Westchester and every place in between. I've seen the answers. But I need this industry to help me. Help tell the story of all the great potential that could still be unlocked if we could work toward a solution. And everybody has to give a little bit. It's the art of compromise, right? Healthy relationships have compromise. Anybody here married? You know what I'm talking about? I've been married 49 years. I'm an expert on this subject. Okay? You got to give a little. But the results are so worth it. And I, for one, know that together we can figure this out. I am a believer. I'm a dreamer, but I'm also a believer in the past success of what the giants of the real estate industry have accomplished through some really bad times and the good. And right now, I see a very bright future on the horizon. In fact, I see the equivalent of a Stanley Cup for this city. So let's make that happen, everybody. Thank you for caring so much. Thank you for being here today, and good luck with the rest of the conference.